Hello everyone. Welcome to my channel. Please subscribe and keep watching more details. Chrisleys tell Lara Trump. Learning they had been pardoned wasn't as simple as all that. Julie and Todd Chrisley were not exactly prepared to learn they had been pardoned by the president. Unfortunately, most of the news that you get in prison is bad news. Julie Chrisley told Lara Trump in a family interview set to air Saturday on Fox News Channel. So when she got the good news, her fellow inmates didn't immediately understand what they were seeing. They're like, "Are you okay?" Julie said. In fact, she hadn't been 100% okay when she first heard from daughter Savannah that President Trump had signed off on the crème de la crème of get-out-of-jail-free cards. "I just busted out crying when her daughter broke the news," Julie said. "Everyone was looking around, and then I just hung up. I was so nervous that I just hung up." Savannah was the one who appealed to the president to free her parents. During the Republican National Convention, she gave a speech about the rogue prosecutors who put her parents behind bars. At least Julie hung up on her daughter and not POTUS. But now the folks around her were asking her if she was okay. "I'm like, I am," she said, grasping her husband and daughter's hands as she recalled the moment. "I'm getting out of here." Julie and husband Todd, the Georgia couple who gained fame through Chrisley Knows Best, the USA Network series that showcased their luxurious lifestyle and zany family dynamic, were back in their bleach blonde glory sitting with two of their 5 kids, Savannah and son Chase, on Lara Trump's couch. There had been no hair color for the inmates after they were sentenced to 12 years, him, and 7 years, her, for tax evasion, conspiracy, and wire fraud. He was sent to a federal prison in Pensacola, Florida, while she was doing time in Lexington, Kentucky. Probation after incarceration awaited them both. The pardons changed all that. Todd Chrisley was a little cooler than his wife had been when the news came his way. He was walking through FPC Pensacola when someone stopped him and told him he just got pardoned. "I said, yeah, okay, and I just went right on walking," apparently dismissing what he'd just heard as trash talk. He walked all the way back to his dorm, only to have a corrections officer come by soon after and ask him if he was good. "I said, as good as I can be," he told Lara Trump with a little snark in his delivery. But the CO was serious. The officer told the reality star that he had been pardoned and that he'd been sent to check on Chrisley to make sure he was okay. Todd recalled saying, "They don't need to be worried about me now. If I'm pardoned, I'm great." The Chrisley patriarch also shared how it felt when he saw wife Julie for the first time in 28 months. "When I hugged her the first time, it was like I was home. We have changed," he said. "And if we did not change in these 28 months, it would have been wasted." Todd gave it up to the Almighty as well. "God touched President Trump's heart," he said. "God led the people to advocate for us. And so I'm grateful, because every night I would pray that God would return me home to my children. And he did that, so I'm grateful." Both Chrisleys have said they intend to advocate in the future for prisoners who are still behind bars. My View with Lara Trump, which includes her full interview with Todd, Julie, Savannah, and Chase Chrisley, airs Saturday at 6 p.m. local time, 9 p.m. Eastern, on Fox News Channel. When Todd and Julie Chrisley sat down with Lara Trump for their highly anticipated post-pardon interview, the atmosphere was equal parts electric and emotional. The glamorous couple, once known for their sharp wit and lavish lifestyle on Chrisley Knows Best, had spent months away from the cameras, rebuilding their lives, healing from scandal, and learning how to breathe again as free people. But as they told Lara, the moment they found out they were pardoned wasn't the fairy tale phone call people imagined. "It wasn't like we just got a call saying, 'Pack up, you're going home,'" Todd began, his southern drawl tempered by something more reflective than the sarcastic charm fans remembered. "It was a process, a roller coaster. We heard whispers. Then we were told to wait for confirmation. Imagine being told you might have your life back, but you can't celebrate because it's not official yet." Julie nodded quietly beside him, her composure radiant but fragile. "I prayed for months," she said softly. "Every night I'd close my eyes and say, 'God, I'm ready for your will.' But I also begged for a miracle. When the guards came to tell me the paperwork had been signed, I didn't even believe them at first. I thought it was a cruel mistake." According to the Chrisleys, the news reached them in fragments. Todd's legal team had been tracking developments in Washington closely, but no one expected the presidential pardon to come when it did, or under such secrecy. "You'd think someone would call your lawyer and say, 'Congratulations, it's over,'" Todd joked with a chuckle that masked old pain. "Instead, I was in the middle of laundry duty when an officer told me to report to the warden's office. I thought, great, what now? I never dreamed I was about to be told I was a free man. Lara Trump, leaning forward with genuine empathy, asked the question millions wanted to know. What did that moment feel like? Todd didn't hesitate. It felt like God himself had opened the door. But it also felt confusing. You've been in survival mode for so long that freedom doesn't register right away. I looked around and thought, what's the catch? Is this real? Am I really walking out? Julie described her own release in even more poetic terms. It was like waking up in color after living in black and white. But there was grief too. You can't go through what we did without losing something inside you. You're free, but you're different. The interview quickly shifted to what life was like after the pardon, reuniting with their children, rebuilding their reputation, and facing the public again. Lara didn't shy away from the tougher questions. A lot of people have opinions about your case, she said. How do you handle that now? Todd sighed, running a hand through his slicked back hair. We used to care too much about public perception, he admitted. But when you've lost everything, your show, your freedom, your privacy, you stop trying to control the narrative. People can believe what they want. All I can do is live with integrity now and let the truth do the talking. Julie chimed in gently. Forgiveness has been a big part of this journey. Forgiving ourselves, forgiving others, and even forgiving the system. Bitterness only keeps you chained, even when the gates are open. The Chrisleys admitted that their family dynamic had shifted dramatically during their incarceration. Savannah, their outspoken daughter, had become the emotional anchor of the family, taking care of her younger brother Grayson and niece Chloe. That girl held our world together, Julie said proudly. We owe her everything. She was our voice, our strength, and our hope. Todd, visibly emotional, added, I told Savannah the day we came home, you were the man of the house while I was gone. She's been through more than people realize. She's tough as nails, but I also saw the toll emotional, added. I told Savannah the day we came home, you were the man of the house while I was gone. She's been through more than people realize. She's tough as nails, but I also saw the toll it took on her. Lara then asked whether the couple had any regrets, if they would do anything differently knowing what they know now. Todd's answer was strikingly humble. I regret not being more aware of the people around us, he said. When you're successful, you assume everyone has your best interests at heart. But greed, pride, and blind trust, that's a dangerous combination. If I could go back, I'd slow down and read every line before signing anything. Julie, ever the calm counterpart, smiled faintly. I've learned that sometimes God strips everything away so he can rebuild you the right way. We thought we were being punished, but now I see it as preparation. Our platform used to be about showing our perfect life. Now it's about showing our real one. Lara nodded, visibly moved. There's a grace about both of you now, she said. A lot of people crumble after something like this, but you two seem stronger. Julie laughed softly. When you've folded laundry in prison, suddenly a dirty kitchen doesn't seem so bad. The audience laughed, but Todd added a more serious note. You know, I used to think success was money and followers. Now I think it's peace. It's being able to wake up beside the woman you love, walk outside, and breathe free air. That's success. As the conversation turned to the future, Lara asked what's next for the Chrisleys. Would they return to television? Todd grinned knowingly. You'll just have to wait and see. Let's just say the cameras might roll again, but this time it'll be on our terms. No more pretending. If we're coming back, it's going to be raw, honest, and maybe even a little uncomfortable. But it'll be real. Julie nodded in agreement. We want to tell our story the way it really happened. The lessons, the heartbreak, the redemption. Not the filtered version. The interview wrapped up on an emotional note. Lara asked what they'd say to the people who stood by them through the storm. Todd leaned toward the camera, eyes glistening. To everyone who prayed for us, wrote to us, believed in us when it didn't make sense, you're part of this miracle. You didn't just help us survive, you helped us keep faith alive. Julie placed her hand over his. And to anyone going through something you think you'll never get out of, just hold on. There's always a dawn after the darkest night. As the lights dimmed and Lara thanked them for their openness, it was clear this wasn't just an interview, it was a rebirth. The Chrisleys had walked through fire, but they emerged tempered, not destroyed. Their story was no longer about fame or fortune, but about grace, endurance, and the kind of redemption that can't be scripted.